So hello guys, welcome back. Today I have a very special surprise for you. So in the past few videos, I have shown you how exactly you can code your strategy with just a simple idea using RoboQuant. And when I used RoboQuant myself for the first time, I also made a few mistakes trying to get my strategy idea into the chatbot. And who better to help me improve my strategy and excel to another level than the co-founder of RoboQuant himself, Mr. Tim Hutter. And we also have a very exciting podcast coming up in the next few videos with him, where we will be discussing the future of AI and algorithmic trading and also the RoboCon 2.0. So make sure you subscribe and let's get started. So, hi Tim, how are you?
I'm very good, thanks. And you?
I'm good, I'm good. So today I need some help. I have been using ChatGPT a lot for my strategy, and I wanted to code it to get it in PineScript and TradingView to backtest it to see the results. But I haven't been seeing any good results, right? So I need your help to basically help me with that.
Sure, no issue. Now my question is, do you think the strategy, like what do you mean? It doesn't execute the way it should, or it's not profitable?
So the strategy is profitable because I've been running it on my account, so it is profitable. But I think the main problem is with the execution part. So I think it's just not connecting where exactly I need the trade, right? So it's just executing randomly on like random candles, basically.
Oh, I see.
Yes. All right.
Yeah, sure. Let's have
So
a look.
yeah, so I'll just share my screen and show it to you on the chart first, like manually. Right. So this is my strategy on gold, 1 hour time frame, and the rules are very simple. We use the 20 moving average, simple moving average, right? Then all we need for an entry is like two consecutive candles. Like for example, this one candle, right? It closed below the 20 moving average, so this becomes my signal candle, and the next candle that closes below the low of this candle becomes my entry candle. So here basically it is closing below the 20 moving average, and then this is the low of the first candle, signal candle, and the second candle for the entry, we just need a closing below this candle. This is for shorts, right? So we will enter here, and we would put our stop loss above the recent high, and we would put our target 1 is to 2. So this is one example. I'll show you another one. Show you in a long example basically. Right. So here we have an example, right? So first, the candle that pierces through the 20 moving average closes above the 20 moving average, that becomes our signal candle, and the second candle that closes above the high of this candle, that becomes my entry candle. Right now this obviously is a very huge stop loss, so I would like avoid taking this manually, but it's okay if we take it in algo trading. So this becomes 1 is to 2. This right here is a stop loss. Then let's say this here, right? This also could have been an example like the candle closing above 20 moving average, but the high of this candle was not broken. The next candle did not close above the high of this candle. So this isn't an entry. But the ChatGPT bot had been taking trades here as well. Right.
Okay.
So this also becomes an entry basically. Uh, the price is already above the moving average, I know, but it went down and it opened from here, closed above the 20 moving average, and the second candle closed above the high of the previous candle. So this also becomes an entry, and stop loss is below the recent low, and 1 is to 2 is the stop loss target.
Yeah, here I have to add something.
Yeah.
Can you zoom into this candle that went below but closed above? This
Yeah.
is going to be a little hard because first I thought for longs, we need price to be below
Below, yes.
the SMA and then go above. And in many cases, this is going to work, but then also in other cases like this, we would miss this because the way TradingView works is, I mean, we could do it. We can say if the candle If price was not below the SMA, the first candle has to at least go below the SMA. It's a little hard. We can
Okay.
try this, yeah, to catch
Okay.
these
No
trades.
worries. I'll just show you a few more examples and then we can start. Okay, so this is I think what you're saying. So first we have one entry here where the price is above the moving average, and it basically closes now it closes on moving average here as well, but the second candle did not break the low of this candle, so that is not an entry. Uh, Here the candle closes below the moving average, and the second candle closes below the low of this candle. So here we do take an entry. Stop loss would be above the recent high, and we can put our stop loss here. And 1:2. So this would have been a stop loss trade. Then we have another entry here where the price it closes here as well on the moving average, but again the second candle did not close below the low of this candle. Here we have another candle which closes on basically below the 20 moving average, and then the next candle closes below the low of this candle. So this is also an entry right here. Stop loss above the recent high and 1:2 target, and we would be booking a profit here. Right. Do we need more examples?
No, I think it's clear.
All
We
right.
just have to try a little bit with the order, like for how many candles have to be above before you want to have a bearish to close below. But yeah, I'm sure we can work this out.
Okay.
So now show me what you have built.
All right. I'll just open RoboQuant.
Or just take the latest version, scroll down a little. Ah, here it was somewhere. Here was
No,
the
no, no.
code.
So
SMA break, go up a little bit. Up. Here, SMA breakout strategy. You can download this.
right. Okay. Should I send the code to you? Or
Yeah, send it to me so I can review it.
all right.
And just send it here in the chat.
Yeah, sure. I sent the code to you and the rules as well. The rules that it has generated from your entry logic.
Wait, but that's not huh. Exit. No, that's not the full strategy. It's not the full code. Yeah, whatever. You know what? We can actually, I can just build it from scratch. You want? Yeah,
Okay.
let's just build it from scratch.
We can just build the strategy from scratch, and Tim is going to help me with the coding. All right. Tim, you share the screen. I'll just pause mine. Just a second.
Yeah. So yeah, I always want to have TradingView open so I see what's happening. Okay, you said 20 SMA.
Yes, 20 simple moving average.
Okay. There's actually two ways of building strategies. You can one-shot it with one prompt, but I prefer building it step by step,
Right.
starting with an indicator to see the signals.
Right.
And once this is good or perfect, only then I turn it into a strategy. So
Okay.
let's say we're looking for shorts. We want to have a candle that closes above the SMA, then one that closes below, and one that breaks the low of this. And I want to make sure I explain it the right way. But I'll just go to the AI chat and I start a new chat. Say, please code the following indicator in PineScript.
Right.
Let me explain how to make the prompt. I want to keep it simple, but clear. And once I finish the prompt, I will explain everything.
Yeah, no worries.
And I said it's in PineScript, so I'm just going to send it. I use the default model.
Right.
And I recommend everyone to have this extension here installed. here TradingView Strategy Optimizer. It's also
Alright.
linked here, because then it can automatically add it to the chart on TradingView, and you're not going to have any compiling errors.
Right.
And of course, it's a little slower, or much slower than ChatGPT, because it actually does some research, has a knowledge base. Yeah, you see, it says 2 independent sequences, because obviously it can be very confusing, because these are basically opposites, but we have to make sure we don't have conflicting signals. Should not happen, I think.
Alright.
No. All right, the code seems finished, and it says validation passed. Just going to click here, validate, and
Alright.
hands-free.
Yeah.
And we have no compiling errors.
See, it has taken that. So yeah, it has taken that very trade that we decided on. Right. That's good.
Okay, now let me check if they're all correct. So here, close, yeah,
Yeah.
perfect. And
So
it's
good.
on this candle, this is met. And the way TradingView works is you're only going to get this dot once this candle opens. So once a new candle opens, TradingView recalculates. All right, let's go through the signals. Closed above,
Yeah.
then closed. No. This one closed
Yes, yes,
below.
yes.
Yeah.
So that is an accurate trade. This the green one is also an accurate trade. Technically it is, but manually I wouldn't take this one because of the gap up and the bullish candle. But yes.
Also, do you have session times, or you trade the whole day?
Yeah, no, we have session times. So according to the Indian time zone, right? I have from the morning, I think 9:30 a.m. to I think 12:30 a.m. at night.
Okay, I just say you nailed it.
Right.
Now, please add session inputs, so the indicator only sends or plots dots during the session. We will use how is this called? Indian
Standard Time.
Okay, let's see.
So we need to give it a time frame, right? Like 9:30 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. closing to 12:30 a.m. Closing, because in gold in Indian time, right, every candle closes at the 30th minute of 1 hour candle, basically.
Oh,
Yeah. So every 1 hour candle that closes, it's at the like the 30th minute. So it goes from 9:30, 10:30 up to 12:30 at night.
that's very strange.
Yeah, because of the time zones. Because we are 5:30, right? GMT plus 5:30. So that's why.
Oh. By the way, if you get this here, that's not from RoboQuant. That's just a typical TradingView bar. You just click the X
Yeah,
and it gets loaded.
I've noticed that.
Now I hide this one.
It's-
Now we don't see any dots. Let's see. To make it easier, I'm just going to use the Indian
Yeah, plus 5:30.
time. So now let's make we use the session filter.
Yeah, so now
Oh, it actually works.
yeah, a few of them have been removed.
Yeah, that's something you have to test. You have to optimize, because it looks like
Right.
these are all shit signals, and the ones before were better.
Right.
Because when you go, but I mean, that's something you can test then with the optimization.
Right.
Of course, you would want to prevent stuff like this when there's a gap. The weekly opening gap.
Yeah.
You see, market opened, massive gap, and we had something similar here. I think somewhere. This one,
Yeah.
you're not going to enter here. Makes no
Yeah, I
sense.
wouldn't.
But you want to catch these here, you see? It's a little earlier. Anyways, perfect. Stop loss. Where do you place the stop loss?
So stop loss, typically I was using average true range, the indicator average true range. I was using whatever the average true range is. I would just multiply that by 1.5 times, and that would be my stop loss. But I have noticed this in gold. That basically becomes it sometimes it gives me like a very huge stop loss. So
Yeah.
I think that I can't use ATR for my stop loss. I think we can just use the two fractals that we used last time. we can use that because it's difficult to explain which low I'm talking about. Like if I say that I need to keep the stop loss below the low of the candle, like which low, like recent low. Or we can just simply use the ATR as well. We can use average to range by 1.5 times. We can still use that.
But let's say if we enter here on this candle, you would put your stop loss on here.
No, not that candle. So just above the last, the white candle, basically the last white candle that we had, above that. Yeah, somewhere around here.
Aha, okay. Yeah, that's actually very easy. Okay, you know what? We're just gonna try two things.
Yeah.
We're gonna have two different stop loss types, so you will see in the prompt it's a little complicated to explain.
Okay.
Now you see it's much easier to turn into a strategy because we can simply say that a green dot is buy and the red dot is sell.
Yeah.
If we have a red dot, enter a short with, you use USD risk or percentage risk or fixed contracts?
No, so percentage risk about, let's say, 1% of my entire capital, basically.
Okay, we're gonna have different options. Enter a short. I'm gonna tell it that I need multiple options. I think this works. For the SL, I need multiple options. Option 1, structure-based. SL is right above the high of the most recent candle that closed above the 20 SMA. That's for shorts. So here we get the signal. What's the most recent candle closed above? This one. So SL will be here.
All right. And put the target as 1:2, like just twice the size of the stop loss.
Yes, I'm gonna add this, but first I'm gonna add here option 2.
Yeah.
ATR based. SL equals ATR multiplied by X, and then we can test what works better.
Yeah. Multiplied by 1.5 times, right?
Now we have an X. When I say ATR multiplied by X, then it creates a user input and we can change it and see what's the most profitable option.
Okay, all right.
Okay, we have multiple options. Now, I don't want to make it too confusing. Am I going to add the profit target or am I going to have...
Just, I think just the twice the size of the stop loss would be good, right? Just whatever the stop loss becomes, just use twice the size of that for the target.
Yeah, this doesn't... I know, but am I going to, in the prompt, how do I structure the prompt? Because I say, if we have a red dot, enter a short, and then we have the SL logic. The SL logic, yeah, it's going to understand it.
Yeah.
Enter short. If we have a green dot, enter a long. I'm going to add this here, that it understands that this logic here, SL above the high, most recent high, is for shorts.
Okay.
And then vice versa for longs. So I don't have to explain the whole thing again. ATR based stop loss doesn't matter, the direction, and then TP fixed risk to reward ratio, and I say add user input for this. Now for the risk, I want 3 options. I'm going to explain you why after. First, fixed number of contracts. This just makes it much easier for testing because sometimes if you use percentage risk, TradingView calculates it wrong, then you miss trades and stuff. So we need this for testing. Risk in USD per trade, and 3 risk in percent of equity per trade. Also, I want to have everything visual. Okay, I also want like a long short tool like this one.
Right.
And yeah, maybe you think I have to explain more, or is this enough? Let's go again over the...
I think this would be enough. Yeah, sure.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna send it. And if something's wrong, we can still change it. It's gonna take a little longer, I guess. This part can be confusing because for the structure-based stop loss, we have a long explanation.
Yeah.
And I hope it understands it when it just say vice versa, because it has to understand the logic. It's better to explain it more clear. And it's kind of addicting. You see, when you create the indicator, then you see the signals and stuff, and then you automatically want to turn it into a strategy. It's much better than just making a gigantic prompt and you get something and then you don't understand why it's wrong. There's always going to be something that is wrong. As you can see, it always compiles, but this doesn't matter if the logic is wrong, you know? So I think this is the best way of building stuff with AI.
Yeah, I agree because I've been using ChatGPT and it just gives me like long as paragraphs of just the rules. And at this point, I was confused with the rules. Like this was my strategy, but still I was confused with the rules.
Yeah. Okay, it's validating strategy. Okay, let's see.
So this was just the part one of the entire video. He just helped me improve the structure of my strategy and help me with the rules. In the next part, he showed me how I can improve my results and how you can also do the same. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure you subscribe and I'll see you in the next one.